Today we're going to review Alphabet's Q4 2024 earnings call. But first, a disclaimer. The content provided here has been generated by an artificial intelligence model and is intended for informational, entertainment, or educational purposes only. While the AI strives to provide accurate and helpful information, the content may not always reflect the latest research, legal standards, or expert advice. The content does not constitute as professional or any other kind of investment advice, including but not limited to one that takes into account the special needs and situation of each person. The information presented may contain errors and may be subject to market changes and other changes. Users are encouraged to verify any information and consult appropriate professionals for specific advice or concerns. The creators and providers of this AI do not assume any liability for any actions taken based on the content provided. To listen to the actual conference call, you can go to the company's website or find a transcript in Seeking Alpha. Link to Seeking Alpha can be found in the description of this video.
Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are cracking open Alphabet's Q4 2024 earnings report. We've got the official transcript right here. We are going to unearth all the interesting details that those flashy headlines miss. So it looks like 2024 was a pretty amazing year for Alphabet. $350 billion in revenue. That's a 14% jump, which is, not too shabby. But the numbers, they don't tell the whole story, do they? We're going beyond the headlines to explore how AI is impacting, well, everything Alphabet is doing from search to cloud. Plus, we'll uncover some fascinating trends like, get this, Travel Tuesday.
Yeah, you're spot on. Beyond just the financial numbers, AI is front and center in Alphabet's growth strategy. It's a huge bet they're making.
So they're not just dipping their toes in the AI pool. They're jumping in head first. But what does that actually look like, in the real world?
Well, what's interesting is Alphabet's taking what they call a full-stack approach to AI. This means they're involved in every single stage of the process, from designing and building their own special computer chips. They're called tensor processing units, TPUs for short, to developing AI models like Gemini, and then integrating all of that into their products like Search and Cloud.
So instead of relying on others for different parts of that puzzle,
Yeah.
they're building the whole thing themselves from scratch. Why is that so important?
Well, this level of control gives them a big advantage when it comes to cost and efficiency, especially as AI applications, become more common and need a lot of computing power. It's kind of like owning the whole supply chain for a product. You can really fine-tune each step for maximum efficiency and profit. Take cloud computing, for instance. Their customers are now using 8 times more computing power for AI than they were just 18 months ago. And the number of developers building applications with their Gemini models, well, that's doubled in just 6 months. It's now at 4.4 million. And that's not even mentioning the 5-fold increase in customers for Vertex AI. That's their platform, specifically for developers.
Wow, those numbers are pretty impressive. It sounds like Alphabet is really setting themselves up to be the leader in AI. But, how are other big tech companies going to respond to this kind of aggressive strategy? I mean, could we see a silicon arms race as everyone tries to grab their piece of the AI pie?
Oh, that's a really important question. Competition in the AI space is definitely heating up. It'll be interesting to see what companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta do in response to Alphabet's moves. But for now, let's shift gears and talk about how AI is changing one of Alphabet's core products, search. Remember the days of typing in a few keywords and hoping for the best? Yeah, those days are fading fast thanks to AI.
Yeah. I remember spending way too much time trying to figure out the right keywords to find what I was looking for. It sounds like AI is taking the guesswork out of searching.
Right. One of the biggest changes is the introduction of what they're calling AI overviews. These are summaries that appear at the top of search results and are powered by AI. They give you a complete answer right away. This is really popular with younger users who want things fast and efficient.
So instead of clicking through a bunch of links, you get a concise summary generated by AI. I can definitely see why that would be a game changer, especially for quick searches when you're on the go. It's like having a super smart research assistant right there in your pocket.
Exactly. And it's not just about text-based searches anymore. We're seeing a move toward more intuitive ways of searching, like circle to search. That's where you actually use your camera to search for information. So, for example, imagine you're walking down the street and you see these awesome shoes you want to buy, right? But instead of trying to describe them with words, you could just circle them with your camera, and search would instantly show you online stores that sell those exact shoes.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. I'm starting to see how AI is making search more visual and interactive? How widespread is this technology?
Oh, it's catching on quickly. Over 200 million Android devices now have this feature, and people who use it are finding that they're using it for more than 10% of their searches. This is a real shift in how we're interacting with information, moving beyond just text and towards a more visual and intuitive approach.
That's really interesting. Okay, so AI is definitely changing the game for search, but what about YouTube?
Hmm.
We all know it's the king of online video, but what's the story behind their record high market share for streaming watch time in the US?
Well, YouTube is really good at adapting. They were early to embrace mobile, then, the living room, and now they're even dominating the podcast landscape.
Right. YouTube is big in podcasts now. Now, that's news to me. I thought podcasts were mostly an audio thing.
Well, that's really where YouTube's strength lies. They're seamlessly integrating podcasts into their core video experience. They're making it really easy for creators to upload and share their podcasts and for viewers to discover and enjoy them, either in audio or video format. Actually, YouTube is now the #1 platform for podcast consumption in the US.
Wow. That's a huge accomplishment. What do you think is driving this trend? Is it just the sheer size of YouTube's user base, or is there something more to it?
It's a combination of things. Obviously, YouTube's massive reach plays a role, but they're also taking advantage of the growing demand for video podcasts. Lots of people like to actually see the hosts and their reactions while they're listening, which is something that YouTube does really well. Plus, their recommendation algorithm is really good at suggesting relevant content, so it helps viewers find new podcasts they might enjoy.
So YouTube is using its video expertise to become a big player in the audio world, too. That's a smart move. Okay, so we've talked about AI's impact on search and YouTube's surprising success with podcasts. What else is happening in the world of Alphabet that we should be paying attention to?
Well, let's talk about Google Cloud. They're seeing incredible growth. Their Q4 revenue jumped by 30%, hitting $12 billion. But they're actually facing a challenge that might surprise you: capacity constraints.
Capacity constraints. What does that even mean? It sounds like a good problem to have, right? Like they're growing so fast they can't keep up.
It is a bit of a double-edged sword. It shows there's a huge demand for their cloud services, especially for AI applications, but it also means they're missing out on potential revenue. They just don't have enough infrastructure in place to meet the rising demand.
So it's like a restaurant that's totally packed with hungry customers, but they don't have enough tables or kitchen staff to serve everyone. What's Alphabet doing to fix this bottleneck?
Well, they're investing heavily in expanding their infrastructure. They're planning to spend a whopping $75 billion in capital expenditures in 2025. Most of that will go towards servers and data centers.
Wow. That's a huge investment. It shows how serious they are about becoming the leader in cloud computing, especially when it comes to AI. But an investment that big has to come with some risks, right?
It's definitely a bold move. There's always a risk they might overbuild, end up with too much capacity if demand doesn't grow as much as they expect. But given how fast cloud adoption is growing and the increasing importance of AI, it seems like a risk they're willing to take.
It's a high-stakes game, but it seems like Alphabet is well-equipped to play it. Okay, before we move on, are there any other interesting details or nuggets of information from this earnings report that we should know about?
Oh, absolutely. Let's talk about Travel Tuesday. It seems like Cyber Monday isn't the only day for scoring deals anymore. Travel advertisers are seeing a big jump in revenue on Cyber Monday and Travel Tuesday combined, like a 20% increase.
Travel Tuesday. Is that a new thing? I guess people are taking advantage of those post-Cyber Monday deals to book their next vacation.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like travel is becoming a bigger part of the holiday shopping season. And speaking of shopping, Black Friday and Cyber Monday each brought in over $1 billion in ad revenue for Google.
Wow, those shopping holidays are still going strong. But didn't this year's holiday shopping season start earlier and last longer than usual? I remember seeing Christmas decorations up in October.
You're right. The U.S. holiday shopping season did stretch out a bit this year, even though it was actually the shortest one since 2019. It just goes to show that consumer behavior is always changing, and retailers are, they're adapting their strategies to keep up. But let's switch gears for a moment and talk about one of Alphabet's more futuristic ventures, Waymo. That's their self-driving car unit.
Ah, yes. The robo-taxis. What's the latest on their progress? Are we any closer to seeing self-driving cars everywhere?
Well, Waymo is making some impressive progress. They're now averaging an amazing 150,000 trips per week, and they're expanding their service to new cities like Austin and Atlanta in 2025, and then Miami in 2026. And get this, they're even planning a road trip to Tokyo.
A self-driving road trip across continents.
Uh-huh.
That's ambitious. It really does sound like science fiction is becoming reality. But let's get back to the main point. Alphabet's overall performance and the role that AI is playing in their success.
Well, it's clear that Alphabet is doing incredibly well, and AI is a major factor in that. They're making strategic investments, pushing boundaries, and redefining what's possible in areas like search, cloud, and even self-driving cars. They're not afraid to take risks and make big bets on the future.
Yeah, it's exciting to see how they're evolving. Okay, as we wrap up part one of this deep dive, what's the key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I think it's that Alphabet is in a league of its own when it comes to AI. They're not just using it to improve their existing products, they're using it to create entirely new possibilities. It's a strategy that's working really well for them, but, it also raises some important questions.
Exactly. Like, what does Alphabet's big push into AI mean for the rest of the tech industry? Will their competitors be able to keep up? Or will we see Alphabet pull even further ahead in the next few years? These are the questions we'll be tackling in part two of this deep dive. So stay tuned.
Picking up where we left off, let's dive into the financial side of this AI-powered engine. So Alphabet wrapped up 2024 with a pretty incredible $350 billion in revenue. That's a 14% surge year over year.
Yeah, and it's not just like a single product driving this growth. Both Google services and Google Cloud, they both showed double-digit revenue growth. And get this, YouTube and Cloud together, they're now at a $110 billion annual run rate. That's a pretty powerful duo.
Yeah.
But with this kind of rapid growth, there must be, I don't know, some challenges on the horizon, right?
Oh, absolutely. Alphabet's CFO, Ruth Porat, she highlighted a few things that could potentially impact their performance in 2025. First off, the strong U.S. dollar. That's expected to kind of put a damper on Q1 2025 revenues, especially compared to Q4 2024. Currency fluctuations, they're always a bit of a headache for global companies.
Ah, the joys of international
Yeah.
finance. What else is on their radar?
Well, remember those massive capital expenditures they're making for data centers and servers? Well, those investments are going to start showing up on the profit and loss statement as higher depreciation expenses.
Right. You build it, you got to account for the wear and tear over time.
Yeah.
But I remember Ruth also mentioned something about headcount growth.
Yeah, they're expecting some headcount growth in 2025, mainly in key investment areas, like AI and cloud. This is a strategic move, of course, to fuel future growth in these crucial areas.
So it sounds like Alphabet's facing this classic growth dilemma, right? Balancing these ambitious investments for the future with managing the financial implications, today. And on top of all of that, they've got the leap year headwind to consider, right? Having one less day of revenue in Q1 2025 compared to 2024, that'll also have an impact on their financial performance. Sometimes even the calendar can throw a wrench in the works.
You got that right. But let's not get bogged down in, just the financial details. If we zoom out a bit, this deep dive has uncovered some really exciting developments and potential game changers. AI's impact on search, YouTube's, unexpected dominance in the podcasting world. It's clear that Alphabet is shaping the way we interact with information and technology.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But it's important to remember these advancements, they have ripple effects across the entire tech landscape. As Alphabet is, charging ahead into this AI-powered future, it'll be fascinating to see how their competitors adapt and evolve. Will we see, a surge in innovation and investment, or will some players, struggle to keep up with Alphabet's aggressive pace?
Yeah, that's a great question. Maybe we should shift gears a bit and focus on some specific areas where Alphabet is really making waves. So
Yeah.
we've talked about AI's impact on search, but what about its role in the ever-changing world of e-commerce?
Now, that's something I'm personally interested in. Online shopping is already a big part of my life, but if AI can make it even easier and more personalized, I'm all ears.
Well, get ready for a world of AI-powered product recommendations. Philipp Schindler, he is Google's chief business officer, he talked about how they're integrating AI into their shopping platform to make the whole shopping journey more intuitive and personalized.
So instead of endlessly scrolling through, pages and pages of products, AI will curate a selection that's tailored to my specific needs and preferences. No more impulse purchases that he'll regret later.
That's the idea. AI algorithms, they'll analyze your past purchases, your browsing history, and even things like your location and current trends to show you the products you're most likely to be interested in. Think of it like your own personal shopping assistant, but without the judgmental stares.
Yeah, that's what I call retail therapy. But what does this mean for retailers and advertisers? Will they need to like change their strategies to succeed in this, increasingly AI-driven shopping environment?
Oh, adapting is key, absolutely. In this new world, retailers, they'll need to make sure their online presence is optimized for AI-powered discovery. They'll need to provide like rich product data, use AI-powered tools for pricing and inventory management, and partner with platforms like Google Shopping to make sure their products reach the right customers at the right time. And for advertisers, it means embracing AI-powered targeting and personalization. It's about moving beyond that one-size-fits-all approach and delivering messages that really resonate with individual consumers.
It sounds like a whole new world of e-commerce
Yeah.
with both opportunities and challenges for everyone involved. But let's not forget about another area where AI is having a big impact, the advertising industry itself.
Oh, right. Alphabet's using AI to improve every single stage of the advertising process, from
Right.
targeting and creating ads to measuring and optimizing them.
So is AI taking over the whole advertising, value chain?
I think it's more about augmentation than a complete takeover. AI tools are being used to streamline processes, improve efficiency, and ultimately deliver campaigns that are more effective. So, for instance, imagine a new pet food brand launching an ad campaign, right? Well, AI algorithms can analyze tons of data to figure out the ideal target audience, taking into account things like pet ownership, demographics, online behavior, and even the type of pet they own.
So no more wasting ad dollars on cat food ads for dog owners. Sign me up for that. More targeted ads, fewer irrelevant ones. I can definitely get behind that.
Exactly. It's about making ads more relevant and less intrusive. But AI can do even more than just targeting. It can actually generate creative assets, things like ad copy and visuals that are tailored to different audience segments. This lets advertisers create personalized and engaging campaigns that resonate with different demographics and interests.
It's like having a team of creative geniuses working behind the scenes, always coming up with fresh and relevant ad content. But once the campaign is, out there in the world, how do we know if it's actually working?
Well, that's where AI-powered analytics comes in. These tools can track how a campaign is performing, measure how effective it is, and even suggest ways to improve the results. This data-driven approach ensures that campaigns are hitting their targets and maximizing their return on investment.
It's like having a marketing guru constantly monitoring and tweaking your campaigns to make sure they're performing at their best. I can see why Alphabet is so excited about AI's potential in advertising. But let's not forget about the consumers themselves. How is AI impacting, their experience with ads? Are we all going to be like bombarded with hyper-personalized ads that know our every move?
Yeah, that's a valid concern, but the goal of using AI in advertising isn't to create a creepy Big Brother experience. It's about moving away from that one-size-fits-all approach and showing people ads that are, relevant and useful to them. If it's done right, AI can actually help create a more positive ad experience for everyone.
Okay, that makes sense. It's about finding that, that balance between personalization and privacy. But let's move on to another important part of Alphabet's business, YouTube. So we've already talked about their dominance in video streaming and podcasts, but what about their creator ecosystem? How are they supporting the people who make the videos we all love to watch?
The lifeblood of YouTube. Alphabet emphasized how important their creator community is and their commitment to giving them the tools and resources they need to succeed. They highlighted several initiatives that aim to boost the creator economy, from expanding monetization opportunities to providing access to cutting-edge AI tools.
Okay, tell me more about these AI tools for creators. Are we talking about something like AI-powered video editing software?
Yeah, you're on the right track. Imagine a world where, YouTubers can easily enhance their videos with AI. They could use AI to like automatically generate captions and subtitles and even translations, making their content accessible to a global audience.
Yeah, that would be a game changer, especially for creators who might not have the resources or technical skills to do those things manually. It could also help smaller creators reach a bigger audience and grow their channels faster.
Right, exactly. And it goes beyond just basic editing too. AI can also be used to create amazing visual effects, make the audio quality better, and even generate custom music and soundtracks. These tools let creators produce like professional grade content without needing a huge Hollywood budget.
It's like having a whole production studio right there at your
Yeah.
fingertips. But what about the content of the videos themselves? Can AI help with that too?
It's still early days, but AI is starting to play a role in content creation as well. There are tools that can suggest video topics, come up with script ideas, and even create entire segments of video content.
Wait, so AI can basically write YouTube scripts now. Is there anything it can't do?
It's important to remember that AI is a tool, not a replacement for human creativity. These tools can help creators with brainstorming, research, and even, basic scripting. But it's ultimately the creators who bring the vision, the personality, and the unique storytelling to their videos. The human element is still essential.
Right. It's about humans and AI working together to create even more compelling content. But let's not forget about the business side of things. How is AI impacting YouTube's monetization strategies? Can AI help creators, make more money from their videos?
Oh, absolutely. For a creator ecosystem to really thrive, it needs sustainable revenue streams, and AI is helping YouTube connect creators with brands and monetize their content in new and innovative ways.
Okay, so give me the lowdown. How is AI changing the game for YouTube monetization?
Well, imagine AI algorithms that can analyze video content to find opportunities for brand integration, suggesting relevant products and services that creators can naturally weave into their videos. This helps move beyond those awkward, out of place product placements and create brand partnerships that are more natural and integrated.
So it's about creating a win-win situation for both creators and brands, where the integrations feel, authentic and actually add value to the viewer's experience.
Exactly. AI can help make sure that brand integrations are relevant to the context, actually valuable to viewers, and ultimately more effective for both creators and advertisers.
Yeah, that's a smart approach. But let's not forget about another key ingredient in YouTube's success,
Yeah.
their ability to adapt to new trends. We talked about their move into podcasts, but what other trends are they keeping an eye on?
Well, one area they highlighted is the growing importance of the living room experience. As more people are watching content on their smart TVs and streaming devices, YouTube is really investing in making their platform work great on those bigger screens.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, who wants to watch a YouTube video on a tiny phone screen when you can enjoy it on a big, beautiful TV, right? It's a much more immersive experience.
Right. And YouTube isn't just adapting their existing content for the living room. They're also encouraging creators to make content specifically for that format, higher production values, more cinematic storytelling. It's all part of their strategy to become a major player in the living room entertainment space.
So are we talking about like YouTube originals that are on par with traditional TV shows and movies?
It's definitely a possibility. And as YouTube continues to blur the lines between online video and traditional television, it'll be really interesting to see how the entertainment landscape evolves.
It's a brave new world of content consumption, but let's not get too lost in all the possibilities just yet. We've covered a lot in this deep dive, but there's one crucial aspect of Alphabet's success that we haven't really explored, their approach to talent.
You're absolutely right. Alphabet's ability to attract, retain, and empower talented people is a key driver of their innovation and growth. They've created a culture that encourages creativity, collaboration, and a real passion for excellence.
It sounds like a pretty amazing place to work, but how do they manage to attract and keep the best and brightest minds in the tech industry? What's their secret?
Well, it's not just about offering, competitive salaries and perks. Alphabet understands that top talent is driven by more than just money. They cultivate a culture of intellectual curiosity, encourage risk-taking and experimentation, and provide opportunities for personal and professional growth.
So it's about creating an environment where people feel challenged, supported, and inspired to do their best work. It's not just a job. It's a place where you can, make a real difference and be part of something bigger than yourself.
That's it, exactly. And that's reflected in their approach to leadership. Alphabet's leaders, they're not just brilliant engineers and business strategists. They're also passionate about creating a positive and inclusive workplace culture. They understand that a diverse and inclusive workforce leads to better decisions, greater innovation, and a more vibrant and engaged work environment.
It's clear that Alphabet isn't just building, groundbreaking technologies. You're building a company culture that values people and helps them, reach their full potential. But as we dig deeper into Alphabet, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, right? The potential impact of AI on the future of work.
You're right. It's a topic that's causing a lot of, anxiety and debate. Some people worry that AI will lead to, massive job losses, while others believe it'll create new opportunities and actually enhance human capabilities.
It's a complex issue, no easy answers.
Yeah.
Maybe we should dedicate part 3 of our deep dive to exploring this really important topic, the future of work in an AI-powered world. What are the potential benefits and risks? How can we prepare for the changes that are, inevitably coming? Join us as we unpack these questions and more in the final part of our Alphabet deep dive. All right, welcome back to our deep dive into Alphabet's Q4 2024 earnings report. We've covered their impressive financials, their big AI-focused strategy, and their ventures into new and uncharted territory. But now it's time to face a question that's on everyone's mind.
The future of work in an AI-powered world.
Yeah. It's a topic that's generating, both excitement and anxiety. Some see AI as, this force for good, creating new opportunities, freeing us from, those boring tasks. Others worry about, mass job losses and a widening gap between those who benefit from AI and those who are, left behind.
It's so important to approach this with a balanced view. I think we should start by acknowledging that technological advancements, they've always disrupted industries, and reshaped the workforce. Think about, the Industrial Revolution, the rise of computers, the internet. Each of these waves of innovation, they brought their own set of challenges and opportunities.
You're right. This isn't the first time we're dealing with the impact of technology on jobs. But AI, it feels different, more significant, maybe because it's not just automating those physical tasks. It's starting to, enter areas that we always thought were uniquely human, like creativity, problem solving, even decision making.
Yeah, that's a valid point. AI is evolving at an incredible pace, and its capabilities are, expanding rapidly. But maybe instead of looking at AI as a threat, we should think about how we can use its power to create a better future of work.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
How do we turn this potential threat into an opportunity? What does a positive AI-powered future of work actually look like?
Well, imagine a world where AI handle all those repetitive tasks, the data-heavy stuff. That would free up human workers to focus on the more creative, strategic, and interpersonal aspects of their jobs.
So instead of spending hours, going through spreadsheets or answering routine emails, we could be using our, those uniquely human skills to solve complex problems, build relationships, and it can come up with innovative solutions.
Absolutely. And this shift, it could lead to higher productivity, more job satisfaction, and a more fulfilling work experience overall. AI could become a powerful tool that enhances our capabilities and helps us achieve more than we ever could on our own.
Yeah, it's a pretty compelling vision. But, let's be real. Won't some jobs just, inevitably be replaced by AI no matter how much we adapt and reskill?
Well, yeah, there's no denying that some jobs will be automated, but history shows us that technological advances also create new jobs, new industries that we can't even imagine right now. The key is to anticipate these changes, invest in education and training, and really foster a culture of lifelong learning.
So it's not just about, learning new technical skills. It's about developing adaptability, critical thinking, those problem-solving skills that'll be valuable in any field, regardless of how technology, keeps changing.
Exactly. And this responsibility doesn't just fall on individuals, governments, educational institutions, and businesses all have a crucial role to play in getting the workforce ready for the future.
What kind of initiatives or policies should we be, advocating for to ensure a smooth transition into this AI-powered workforce?
Well, investing in STEM education, expanding access to affordable training programs, and creating incentives for businesses to upskill their employees, those are all essential steps. We also need to encourage collaboration between industry and academia, make sure those education and training programs are teaching the skills that are actually in demand.
So it sounds like we need a multi-pronged approach that addresses both the immediate challenges of job displacement and that long-term goal of creating a workforce that's adaptable and future-proof.
And let's not forget about the ethical considerations around AI and work. We have to make sure that AI is used responsibly, fairly, and transparently. Algorithms should be designed to avoid bias, protect privacy, and put human well-being first.
Yeah, those are crucial points. We can't just blindly adopt AI without thinking about the potential downsides and taking steps to mitigate them.
It's about finding that balance between, technological progress and human values,
Mm.
between innovation and inclusion. Ultimately, the future of work is a reflection of our collective choices and actions.
So it's not just about adapting to AI. It's about shaping how AI is developed and implemented to make sure it benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Exactly. The future isn't, set in stone. We have the power to shape it through our decisions, our investments, and our commitment to creating a more equitable and fulfilling world of work.
Well, that brings our deep dive into Alphabet's Q4 2024 earnings report to a close. We've explored their financial success, their bold AI strategy, and the big questions they're raising about the future of work, the future of technology, and really the future of humanity.
It's been a really fascinating journey full of insights and thought-provoking questions. We hope this deep dive has given you a better understanding of Alphabet's goals and the potential impact they'll have on all of our lives.
Yeah, and remember, the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create together. So stay curious, stay informed,
Yeah.
and stay engaged as we all navigate this exciting and ever-changing world of technology. And that's a wrap for today. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.